SoFi stocks in the red now, guys, after hitting over $10.15 earlier today and in the midst of an overall green day for the stock market. So we have to break down what the heck is going on, the charts, my thoughts, what I'm looking to do. So if you find value, hit that like button. Make sure to subscribe. It's free. You might as well follow me on X as well. That's also free. And feel free to check out my Patreon if you guys want to see all the moves I make in my Patreon portfolio. You want to see my charts throughout the day, Discord access, all of that plus more is on Patreon, link down below. And with that being said, guys, let's not waste any time. Cheers. Let's dive right into the video. So what time is it, guys? Geez, I'm losing track of time here. It's about 12:30 p.m. on the East Coast, and we have all the indexes, which we'll break down later in the video. Those are in the green, but we have SoFi down about 1.7%. Now it's at $9.77 after hitting $10.16 in the morning. So you guys can see we opened up at around 990 to about 992-ish. And in the first 10 minutes of trading, SoFi got all the way up to $10.16. You guys can see that was actually a move of around 2.5% from around 990 to 1016. And now that we're at, where are we now? 976? Yeah, 976. We're down about 4% from that intraday high, about 3.8, 3.9 to be exact, or around 40 cents. And keep in mind, guys, we've been downtrending pretty much for the entire day up until now. Lower lows, lower highs, but we're still above the lows from yesterday. We're actually holding them pretty steadily right now. Yesterday, you guys can see we hit about 965, 970, and today we hit that about 30 minutes prior, about 30 minutes to an hour prior to me making this video, and we held it. Buyers came in today as well, which is a pretty good sign in the short term. And another good sign here for the bulls is the fact that A, we broke over $10 today, and B, we actually took out the highs from yesterday being about $9.99. You guys probably remember that we hit $9.99, almost $10 yesterday, and again today we took out those highs, which is a really good sign for the bulls. And here on the 5-day 5-minute, you guys can see we're still clearly holding an uptrend. Even though we are down now almost 2% on the day, we are seeing a bit of a pullback. We're still holding an uptrend here, guys, in the very, very short term. If I zoom in on this channel, you guys can see we're still clearly in this channel. Now, if we did break under, let's say the lows from yesterday being about 965, 970, we start going down to 950, we break 950, we break this channel, that would be a completely different story. The bears might gain an edge in the short term at that point. But as of now, even though we're in the red, SoFi is still holding this channel, and even though it's under the moving averages a bit and we have the start of a death cross, it looks like we're still holding this channel. And the fact that we hit 1016 this morning, even though we're in the red right now, shows me that the bulls are still in charge on the 5-day, on the intraday. Well, maybe not so much on the intraday, but definitely on the 5-day 5-minute chart here on SoFi. And here on the 20-day chart, we're still above the 50 and the 180 moving averages. You guys can see that here. So essentially, guys, what we're seeing right now is a very healthy pullback in the very short term, right? That's at least how I'm seeing it. And again, you can see that clearly here on the 5-day 5-minute, as again, we hit a fresh high. We took out the highs from yesterday. Now we're just cooling off a bit intraday as we're still maintaining this uptrending channel. And another thing worth mentioning here on the 4-hour chart, I have to highlight this again. I've talked about this before on the channel, but let me mention it again right now. You guys can see back in June, SoFi hit about 1020, 1015, and it got rejected for a couple of weeks at least. Then we ran all the way to 1170, and notice where we got rejected today, guys. Again, we hit 1016 earlier in the day, which is pretty much right where we hit back in June, got rejected, and of course, then we broke out above it. So there's no doubt we are seeing a little bit of resistance under that June high right now, or at that June high. So that level needs to break in the short term. For the bulls, do we have enough juice to do that in the short term before the end of the year? I don't know. We have minimal trading days left until the year wraps up. But as of now, it looks like we are seeing a bit of resistance at 10.25. So we have to be aware of the possibility of maybe a pullback on SoFi stock. It's totally possible, right? Now it's down about almost 2%. It's totally possible that if we don't break above 10.25 in the very short term, we might be going back down towards the lower nines, maybe high eights. If you guys take a look here on the 4-hour chart, 875 is right by the 50 SMA. That's a big support here on SoFi. And right around 925 is also a big support. That was resistance, it looks like here, back in the end of June, early July, about 925. And also from the middle of September, or during the middle of September, we failed at 925. So that now makes it a massive support since we're trading above 925. Now we're at 977 in real time. So keep in mind, if we do fail to break out of this 1020, 1015 mark in the short term, which it looks like we are right now, we're failing, we might see a little bit of red, maybe towards 930, maybe 875, $9. This would be a healthy spot, in my opinion, for SoFi to come down to. Then we'll see if we get ready for that next big move, past 10.25, or maybe we don't even pull back. Maybe we just rip right through, 10.25 in the next couple of days. I don't know. But either way, right now in real time, we are down a little bit. We're seeing a bit of selling. And to be honest, it doesn't surprise me considering how much SoFi has been up over the past couple of weeks. Literally, ever since I bought SoFi, it seems like it's just shot up, which, truthfully, I wanted to build it out a bit more in that under $7 range, but it is what it is, guys. I started buying at like $6.80, $6.90, and now here we are pushing $10. It's been up so much recently, which, again, it makes sense that we're seeing a little bit of a pullback, some profit taking, a bit of resistance at that 10.25 mark. This is very healthy, in my opinion. What do you guys think? Let me know your thoughts down below in the comments. And let me quickly look at these indexes here before we do wrap up the video. By the way, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe if you guys like this type of content, not only on SoFi, but stock market content in general. We break down the indexes, other charts on this channel, guys, and a bunch of news and, just the markets in general. Make sure you guys subscribe. I appreciate you all as always. So let me pull up SPY and Triple Q here and see what's going on before we do wrap up the video. So it looks like SPY, although it's only up 0.1%, looks like we hit another fresh high here on the 5-day, 5-minute, and on the 4-hour chart. It's actually a 52-week high as well. We hit 475, almost 476. So that's a good sign here in the short term. We're inching closer and closer to that all-time high of almost 480 that was hit back in the beginning of 2022, which now is almost 2 years ago, guys. I know, time's flying, I know, but we're getting closer and closer, inching towards that all-time high here on SPY. And Triple Q, let me pull it up and see, looks like that hit another all-time high today at over $410. It hit $410.47 to be exact, which obviously that took out the highs from yesterday, as it is again an all-time high for Triple Q. So this is quite interesting, guys, the way the markets are setting up for the new year. I mean, we're up massively over November and December as the markets are pricing in rate cuts over the next couple of years. A lot of that's being priced in at this point. So will this continue into January, into the new year? That's the million-dollar question. And I said this yesterday, I'll say it again. I think, we're already at all-time highs on the Dow, the NASDAQ, the Russell, not quite there yet. Probably won't hit that in the early months of 2024. I doubt it at least. S&P probably will. But I think we are going to see some rockiness, probably some selling, a little bit of a cool off at some point in early 2024, right? Again, we've rallied so much in November, December, and, we're at all-time highs essentially. I think we're going to get a little retracement, maybe some consolidation early on in the year before we start maybe running again, maybe towards that Goldman Sachs target of 5,100 points on the S&P 500, which right now we're under 4,800 points on the S&P. I mean, you guys can't look at this chart and tell me it doesn't need a pullback. I mean, come on, this chart clearly is due for a pullback, and I think we could be getting it at some point in January, maybe February. I don't know. I could be wrong. But that's kind of what I'm thinking right now when it comes to these indexes. What do you guys think? Let me know your thoughts in the comments. Hit that like button. Make sure to subscribe and follow me on X at Stocks Talk Stocks. And guys, you might as well get your free stocks from Moomoo. Use that link down below or go to stocksurfest.com/Moomoo. Open up your account and fund it with at least $100. You get 5 stocks, each up to $2,000, and fund your account at least $1,000. On top of those 5 stocks, you get 10 more stocks, totaling 15 stocks, each up to $2,000. Use that link down below, and you might as well join my Patreon as well if you guys want to see each and every move I make in real time in my private Patreon portfolio. You want to be a part of the Discord, you want more access to me throughout the day and see my charts throughout the day, that's on Patreon down below. Join it. And with that being said, guys, cheers. I'll catch you all in the next one.